Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Well, thank you very much for having me here. It is a pleasure, and I also want to thank you guys for your time, and to Terry for bringing me all the way from Austin, Texas, where it is a little bit more warm, but it is a pleasure. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate this opportunity, and now I'm going to go up here so that people can see me. One second. And so in Austin, I am a 27-year-old PACA recipient. I am a dreamer, and I live in Austin. I've been there for 5 years, and I am a realtor. I run a real estate team, and we help around 80 families a year buy or sell homes, and I also own 8 rental properties that give me a passive income that pays for all my monthly expenses. So technically, I am financially independent. Ahorita lo voy a decir en español, pero muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad, por estar acá. He venido desde Austin, Texas. Ahí en Austin yo soy un agente de bienes raíces y nosotros ayudamos a como 80 familias al año a comprar o a vender casas, y también yo soy dueño de 8 casas, y las ganancias que gano, todas esas rentas pagan por mis gastos personales. Entonces financieramente soy independiente. Pero no todo así, ahorita sí suena bonito, but everything sounds great now, but in the past it hasn't always been this easy. My 18 years prior to this, when I was 9 years old, my parents made the ultimate sacrifice to come here to the United States. And they left the country Peru because of the unemployment there, the corruption in the government. My mom's car got stolen, and her purse got stolen too, so we weren't safe there. And my dad also, he couldn't find a job. So we came to the United States, and we came in the pursuit of the American dream, but it was a dream that will challenge me more than I ever thought possible. And when I was a child, I heard that I was undocumented, but it didn't really hit me until I turned 16 years old, when I went to the DMV to get my driver's license. I got all my documents, I turned them in, and they said that I needed to submit a document that showed that I was legally living in Florida. But I didn't have that at the moment, and at that point, I realized that that was going to be the first consequence of not having my documents, and what in the future might be that I wasn't going to be able to live a normal life like all of my friends. But despite being undocumented and not being able to drive, I graduated from Southeast High School in Florida, and I graduated 3rd in my class. What that helped me with is being able to go to Florida State University. As a dreamer, or back then without having my documents, I couldn't qualify for any student loans, so I applied to as many scholarships as I could. The problem was that I won a lot of them, but they said that they just needed to see my green card or proof that I was an American so that they can give me the money. So I lost $2,000 here, $3,000 there, and I wasn't able to be fully financially able to go there for the entire time. But what I did is I didn't let that determine what I could do. So I went to college anyway for the first semester, and that is when I began to volunteer at a nonprofit. Because I was studying technology and doing web design, I was able to help some nonprofits, and they told me that, they said, Diego, you've done more in 6 months than what some seniors do in a year, so we want to hire you. I was all excited. I submitted my application, and then they told me, Diego, everything looks good, but you're missing your work authorization. When I asked my mom if I had that, she said, you do not have that. And that's when I also found out that I couldn't work legally in the United States. I was around 18 years old, and my mind was like, okay, well, now I can't drive and I cannot work. What am I going to do to figure this out, to be able to continue paying for college? And in my research, I found out that I could open up an LLC. So that's what I did. I created a company with a friend of mine, Pascal, and he helped me out, and I began doing websites as a contractor for other businesses. And I didn't have a car at that time, and in Florida, it's super hot over there. And one day, it was a hot summer, humid day, and I had set up a meeting, an appointment with a small business 3 miles away from my house. And I had to get there no matter what. So I put on some gym clothes, and I put a suit in my backpack along with a towel, and I drive the 3 miles to my meeting. I park my bike in the back of the building. I take the towel, I dry it off, and then I put on my suit, and I walked through the front door just like anybody else would. And fortunately, I did get that job, and I was able to redo their website. So the hard work did pay off. Then in the summer of 2012, I hear Obama introducing the DACA program. And for me, that was a game changer, because it finally will allow me to work and drive at the age of 21 or 22. And that's been something that I haven't been able to do. What I did then is I began applying to as many companies as I could, and one of them was GM, the car company with General Motors. I went to my interview, and the director told me that the dean of the IT department told them that if they hired anybody from FSU, they had to get at least Diego. So when I walked into my interview, they said, do you want to go to Michigan or Austin? And I chose Austin because I don't like the cold as much. So then, thankfully, I graduated from Florida State University in less than 3.5 years. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in information technology and a bachelor's degree in management information systems. And I was able to do it graduating in the top 1% of my graduating class. And all of this was awesome, but my DACA papers took 9 months to be able to get them the first time. So I sent all my documents in September, and I had told GM that by December of 2012, when I was graduating, I was gonna get my documents. But I hit another obstacle. They never came. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was about to start a job, great salary, great opportunity, be able to be not only the first one in my family to graduate, but also to be on a path of achieving the American dream, working at GM, one of the largest corporations in the United States. And what I did is I took a leap of faith, and I moved to Austin anyway. And while I was in Austin, I didn't know, first of all, I did not know anybody, and I also couldn't drive at that time. But fortunately, my friend Pascal and I, we took a road trip from Florida to Colorado, but in between that time, he helped me move to Austin, and I also was able to move there in a room, and I got a bike just in case so that I can drive around. Then my papers were taking longer than expected, so I convinced General Motors, thankfully, thank God, they were able to hire a third-party company to then hire my company to work as a contractor. And that's how I was able to do it and be able to work there while I was waiting for my documents. So I worked at General Motors in the IT Innovation Center for about 2 years. And it was a great opportunity, I appreciate that very much. And then even though I was working there as a software developer during the day, I was always the kind of person that wanted to do something at night. I just couldn't go home and watch TV. So I got my realtor's license, and I began selling real estate part-time, both nights and weekends. So I was working a lot. From there, in 2015, I decided to go full-time into real estate. And it's giving me a great opportunity to be able to be part of helping families buy their dream home or their first home. And it is an awesome opportunity. This year, last year, I hired my first full-time employee. So as a dreamer, I'm also contributing to the economy by creating jobs. So then last year, in September 5th, when Donald Trump terminated DACA, when he resigned the DACA, I got mad, I got sad, I got annoyed, but Jeff Sessions said something that really made me think, and I made a post on Facebook because he said that the dreamers, that DACA denied jobs to hundreds of thousands Americans and allowed the same jobs to go to illegal aliens. And that hurt me a little bit, and I wrote a post on Facebook sharing my story, similar to how I'm doing here, but I also shared that last year, in 2016, as a dreamer, I paid over $28,000 in taxes. And that post went viral. It got it almost got 1,000 shares, and it got 1,600 likes, and it got 200 comments. So I got a lot of support from family, friends, and random people. But when you get good support and something goes viral, you also get the haters. And that's exactly what happened. I got a lot of people telling me, Diego, if you're so smart, why don't you why don't you become American? Or why don't you go back to Peru? You're still illegal, besides, even if you have all those accomplishments. But I shared my story in a way to show the Americans that we dreamers are an asset to this country, and there's 800,000 of us, and I believe that we are all part of our communities and that we get to influence and we make this country great. From there, I got featured that same weekend in Austin where I made that post. I got featured on Fox Austin, and then it got me on Forbes magazine, entrepreneur.com, Univision, in Telemundo. And I was able to share my story that way, and that's how I connected with Terry, and now I'm here. So it was all thanks to social media. From there, last year, I was able to participate at an event with Forward.us, and I got to go to Washington, D.C. to meet with congressmen and be able to share with them how we, as dreamers, are part of our communities and how we need something to be fixed as soon as possible so that we can have a path to becoming Americans and not be all with uncertainty and not knowing how the rest of our lives are going to look like. I got to meet a lot of congressmen, and I got to participate at a press conference with two congressmen, including Carlos Corbello. He's from Florida, and Dan Newhouse from Washington. And I share all this, and I know that we've had a lot of obstacles as immigrants, as dreamers, but I determined at that time when I had a lot of obstacles that I should be happy with the life that I have as I live the life of my dreams. And something that I heard from my mentor, Hal Elrod, he said, focus on your vision, not your current circumstances. And that's how I've lived all of my life. Because I learned that in this country, to be great, you cannot be average. And we have to pursue our goals with a passion. And in my pursuit of achieving the American dream, I've been able to be on a path of financial independence, financial freedom. And I just want to go over with you the key things that I've learned, because this is something that I believe that a lot of immigrants have, and a lot of dreamers can learn a lot from this too. And these are the 6 areas that have helped me in my journey as I've been able to work and create my own company and study. So number 1, it is scheduling personal development. Scheduling personal development, it is key to achieving financial freedom. It is important to know that just because you graduate college or you graduate high school, that your learning doesn't stop there. There is a quote that says by Jim Rohn, he says that formal education can make you a living, but self-education can make you a fortune. So I believe that personal development is super important. Mastering personal finances is number 2. We have to know how much is coming in as our income and how much is coming out as our expenses. And we have to live below our means so that we can save money and continue investing. Number 3 is your peer group. So this community right here, these are the people in your tribe, the people that help you every single day achieve what you want to achieve. In 2014, when I was trying to buy my first house with a realtor, I met a realtor, and then he became my mentor. And then I became a realtor doing it part-time, but he was able to help me. And then now he's my business partner, which is awesome because I've been able to grow along with him. And then I also met a mastermind group called Go Abundance. They are a group of successful entrepreneurs that I got connected with when I was 23, and I got the opportunity to learn a lot from them, and now they are my tribe. And one of the quotes that I learned is that the quality of your life is in direct proportion of the quality in your peer group. So that's why I think that having friends, having people that push you forward, that set your life to another standard, I believe that that is key to achieving an amazing life. Last but not least is, in continuing, to goal set. So goal setting with accountability. You have to be able to set goals, but also be able to have someone to hold you accountable so that when you're slacking off or you're making excuses, so that this will help you push forward so that you can continue accomplishing them. Number 5, it's something that will help you move you faster to financial independence, and that is increasing your income. And this is by creating a small business or maybe a side hustle while you still have your full-time job. And last but not least is investing. Once you have all these tools, then you can invest that income, and that's what has helping me in my real estate portfolio in achieving financial freedom, right? As we work, we make money actively, but the best part is when you make your money work for you, and then you can achieve financial freedom once your passive income equals your monthly expenses. And I started with a strategy called house hacking, where I bought a home and I lived with 3 roommates when I was 24 years old. And since then, I had my roommates paying for my mortgage, and I also had them paying that income that I was getting from my roommates, paid also for my car. So since I was 24 years old, I've been living for free and not having to worry about my car payment, which has been amazing. So this is what I like to teach other people because I believe it's something that they can do. So in looking at this, the path to financial independence, becoming the person is number 1. So scheduling personal development, and then later you invest. But the first thing is becoming the person that achieves financial independence. So I just want to challenge you guys to not settle for anything less than your best. You are given a gift to be in a country where you can be anything that you want to be. And yes, as immigrants or as dreamers, we face more obstacles, but I believe that we can do it if we just push ourselves and if we go for our goals and aspirations. And one of the last things that I wanted to share is that as we're going through this, we have to be grateful for the sacrifice. As dreamers, we have to be grateful for our parents or our great-grandparents or our parents that came to the United States. I believe that all of us has a unique story, but we have to be thankful for the sacrifice that they did, because now we are able to be in America where we can accomplish anything that we want to be and be on a path of the American dream. So these are my parents and my brother, and they are my why. They are the reason why I do everything that I do. and to show them that we as a family can achieve the American dream, and that with enough time, their sacrifice of working 16-hour days, working in a gas station at 4 in the morning to put bags on ice, put ice on bags. And I just want to show them that everything is worth it and that their sacrifice will not go in vain. So I challenge you guys too, to whenever you go home, for the dreamers or for everybody, to write down your goals, but to have a why. Because in those moments of obstacles, of hardship, because they will happen, just as we have it every single day with what's going on in Congress, with DACA, with the dreamers. I just want you to know that when you have a why that's strong enough, you will figure out how to achieve that goal. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity that you guys have given me, because I know that as we share our stories as dreamers, as we share to inspire others, that at the end of the day, it will be worth it. Thank you.